It's about that time of year again. Time for me to shake shit up.
Good morning, Cherub.
Good morning, Heather. Welcome to any of you that came from Brad Mondo's videos. Hi, my name is Heather Michelle. I do a little bit of everything on here: fashion, beauty, lifestyle, DIY, and vlogs. So hopefully you want to stay tuned and subscribe. But this is what I've gotten my hair to. I started off definitely like more in the chestnut cowboy copper, and here's where I'm at. I did like a little bit of a balayage, not balayage, I don't know what to call this, but I decided to pop in some brighter orange, and now I have a little bit of darker roots. I did have to do this with bleach, and I have a whole video on my TikTok on how I did that. And now what I want to do is actually bring up this bright ginger. I think I'm going for a little bit less of a rooted look, more of a softer root. And usually doing my hair does take a long time. And I will say, go pay a professional to do your hair if you don't enjoy doing your hair. I love doing my hair. I feel like it's like a little science experiment. So for me, this is fun. This is me playing. Going over products that I'm using the Arctic Fox bleach. This is a little bit of a last minute thing. So I ran to Sally's and I got this. It's the Direct by Copper Semi-Permanent Hair Color. I already tested it out. You're gonna need developer. I like to bleach my hair with 10 volumes since underneath all this I've already bleached my hair, so it doesn't need as much aggressive volume as when I lifted my black hair. I also love these combs. I got them off Amazon. I will link them. They are perfect if you're a beginner to get you that nice highlighted weave. Let's get started.
I forgot to mention I also used hair color for my roots, and I used toner to help blend the color with the highlights, but everything will be linked. And now let's get started. First step of a successful hair dye job is to section your hair. This is going to help you stay organized and less frustrated. I split the back of my hair into thirds because I'm using the weaving comb and I don't want to have sections that are wider than the comb itself. Next, you want to mix your bleach. I use 10 volume with Arctic Fox bleach. Then you want to section off and start weaving. I left out this very bottom part because it is the most fragile part of my hair. It rubs against my neck and all that. Then I use this highlighting comb and I applied the bleach to the darkest parts first. Later, when I take out these sections, I also bring down the bleach to kind of even out all these weaves, but I didn't show that. So here's a little bit of a close-up on what this comb really does. It kind of helps sift sections of your hair, and you just pull out one of the sections and that is the perfect little weave. With this first section, I used saran wrap because I was thinking I don't really need to lift my hair that much. I don't need foils to help boost the power of the bleach. However, it was a very bad mistake because the saran wrap was slipping around and it was really hard to work with, and this was a very difficult area to begin with anyways. I started getting comfortable doing the back of my head, but the saran wrap really threw a curveball in that, so I highly discourage using saran wrap if you don't feel comfortable with it. And the back sections can definitely get really messy, so don't be afraid to just take your finger and wipe off any excess bleach that gets on any other sections.
Hi, I finished this whole back section. Now I am checking my foils, and I did get a little bit of bleeding because the saran wrap slips around a little. So I just put that one in a foil to kind of even it out. And now I'm pulling out the first few foils that I did. I'm also using a self-tanning mitt to pull the bleach off my hair so that I don't have to wash my entire head, since I have so many steps to do. A root color, a semi-permanent color. It's a whole thing. So
as I mentioned previously, as I'm pulling out the highlights, I'm also removing the bleach on the top section but applying bleach on the bottom to even out the level throughout the highlighted sections.
Okay, so it's hours later. I have done every single quadrant of my hair except for the very front. We've got a mess going, but I think we're somewhere promising. I also decided that I did want to do foils just because the saran wrap was slipping and leaving some splotches, so I did have to go back and resaturate, but yeah, so
The section by my ear I'm leaving out because I had already tested out the colors and the bleach and all that. So we're just moving forward. And I just wanted to get you a little closer and you could see exactly what I'm doing. So I leave out a section, use the weaving comb, take out the top section and really pull it taut against the foil. I love foil a lot more. It's more sturdy and easy to use and it stays in place a lot better. So as you can see, I'm leaving out a little section, taking a paper thin section and then weaving that using the comb. I will say wearing gloves makes it a little harder to pull the sections out, but it definitely helps your hands not feel sore. And I'm just pulling the bleach down through the darkest bands on my hair. And then again later I pull the bleach through the ends just to even out the level. For these last few sections, I really don't know what got into me and why I decided to take vertical sections instead of the horizontal that I had finally gotten comfortable doing. It was late, okay? I wasn't thinking, I was tired, and I was starting to feel a little ill at this point. I think all the chemicals were not circulating in the bathroom very well and my head was hurting, but I just continued on until I finished the hair.
I mixed that 877 with half 20 volume and half 30 volume, so essentially 25 volume. But I'm gonna work on my roots while this finishes up.
This was my first time using 877. In previous times dyeing my hair, I've used 677 mixed with 777 and that was a little darker. TBD, I'll let you know in later videos what I decide to touch up my hair with. Before I went in with the last toner, I could tell that my virgin hair lifted lighter than the previous color, so that might get a little tricky later, but we'll deal with it when that comes.
I finished applying the roots and now I'm going to apply the semi-permanent color because recently I've been bleaching my hair to make it really bright copper and I don't want to give myself a super hard time by making it permanent hair color.
I love semi-permanent hair color because it feels less damaging and less drying, and if you've already colored your hair, there's no need to re-dye it with permanent hair color over and over.
I am waiting for this to process before showering and I will catch you tomorrow. Dried my hair and unfortunately the color didn't really blend the bleach as much as I wanted it to. I'm gonna need something to blend them, so I'm gonna run to Sally's. I don't want to have to do my roots with the color and have a banding. I just want like one easy color, and I was kind of avoiding doing a toner for that reason, but I gotta do what I gotta do and I'm sure it'll be fine. And everything else looks really good and we'll be fine. I'm back and I picked up 3 different levels of the same toner, more or less. I got 4 RG, 6 RG, and 7 RG. And to be honest, I don't even know what level my hair is anymore. I'm just confused and tired at this point. We're on day 2. And yeah.
I ended up mixing 7R and 6R, although I don't think that was necessary. I just had analysis paralysis and I could not make another decision at this time. I was actually feeling really sick. So I ended up sectioning my hair, applying it like a normal root shadow, and then I would use my weaving comb to section off another hair and essentially kind of add a little bit of a low light just to further diffuse the lines. I just really wanted it to grow out super seamless and soft without it looking like I have a harsh root. Speaking of root, the 6 and 7 level helped to kind of blend out the fact that my virgin roots lifted a little lighter than my previous color, so it all ended up working out. But are we ready to see the final results?
I fear I ate the hair transformation again. I fear I did it, and if Brad Mondo reacts to this, I'd love to hear his feedback because for a minute there it was looking a little scary, but I always pull through. I always pull through. This fully achieved all my goals. My biggest problem was the big dark black hole in the back, and so I didn't like parting my hair down the middle to do like pigtails or even pulling my hair up. It just felt really, really dark. I love the gentle gradation from the roots to this bright pumpkin spice ginger hair. My biggest qualm with my previous hair was when I would like section it or anything. It was like such a stark difference from my root shadow to my ends. And I don't have any more of those dark holes. So I always have had like more weak hair down here. So I didn't go in, but it still looks really nice and bright and blends seamlessly with the rest of my hair, which is definitely the goal. I'm giving like 80s hottie right now. I feel like a true ginger now, when in my previous videos I would always dye my hair and it just always felt a little too dark, a little too brown, and this is really giving me my ginger fantasy. I feel like I need to get more green clothes because the way the green and the ginger pops, gorgeous. So this is my little fall hair transformation. Let me know if you guys have any questions down below. I will be linking all the products down below for you guys in order of how I use them. So hopefully that helps. But yeah, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Love you. Bye.